Hello everyone, welcome to the series on the history of English literature. And in this video, we are going to discuss the periodical essay in the age of transition. Introduction. The 18th century was a vibrant period for English literature marked by significant developments in various genres. Among these, the periodical essay emerged as a popular and influential form, particularly in the early part of the century with the success of the Tatler and the Spectator. However, as the century progressed into what is often referred to as the Age of Transition, the periodical essay experienced a period of stagnation. While the number of periodicals remained substantial, the latter half of the century saw little innovation in the genre's manner or matter. This video explores the state of the periodical essay during the Age of Transition, highlighting key contributors and publications and examining the reasons behind the genre's lack of significant development during this time. Continuation without innovation. Despite the earlier success and influence of periodicals like the Tatler 1709 to 1711 by Richard Steele and the Spectator 1711 to 1712 by Steele and Joseph Addison, the latter half of the 18th century did not witness a comparable evolution in the periodical essay. The number of publications remained high, indicating sustained interest from both writers and readers. However, the new periodicals largely imitated their predecessors without introducing notable changes or advancements. Prominent among these later periodicals were Samuel Johnson's The Rambler 1750 to 1752, The Idler 1758 to 1760. Johnson also contributed to The Adventurer 1752 to 54, edited by John Hawkesworth. Oliver Goldsmith launched The Bee in 1759, though it had a brief run. Other publications included The Connoisseur 1754 to 1756, to which William Cowper contributed, The Mirror 1779 to 1780, and The Lounger 1785 to 87, both published in Edinburgh by Henry Mackenzie, known as The Man of Feeling, The Observer 1785 to 79 by Richard Cumberland, and The Looker-On 1792 to 94 by William Roberts. While these periodicals maintained the essay format established by their forerunners, they did not significantly expand the genre's boundaries. Their content often revolved around moral instruction, social commentary, and reflections on manners, topics well trodden by Addison and Steele. These essays were generally characterized by a didactic tone and a focus on cultivating virtuous behavior among readers. Key contributors. Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson was a towering literary figure of the 18th century. In The Rambler, published twice weekly, Johnson wrote almost all the essays himself. His writings delved into moral philosophy, literature, and human nature, marked by his distinctive prose style, formal, Latin-influenced, and rich in aphorism. The Idler, a later project, featured shorter essays with a lighter touch, though still bearing Johnson's intellectual depth. Johnson's contributions sustained the periodical essay's prominence but also exemplified its resistance to change. His works echoed the moral seriousness of earlier essays without introducing significant stylistic or thematic innovations. Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith, a contemporary of Johnson, contributed to the genre through The Bee, a weekly publication that included essays, poems, and reviews. Although The Bee lasted only 8 issues, Goldsmith's essays showcased his graceful style and keen observation of society. His work often emphasized simplicity and clarity, contrasting with Johnson's more ornate prose. Goldsmith also contributed essays to other periodicals such as The Citizen of the World 1760 to 1761, which presented satirical observations of English society through the eyes of a fictional Chinese traveler. While this approach offered a fresh perspective, it did not significantly alter the periodical essay's fundamental characteristics. Henry Mackenzie. In Scotland, Henry Mackenzie became a notable figure with publications like The Mirror and The Lounger. These periodicals followed the established essay tradition, addressing themes of sentimentality and moral reflection. Mackenzie's writings, while popular, adhered closely to the conventions set by earlier essayists. Reasons for the lack of development. Several factors contributed to the periodical essay's stagnation during the Age of Transition. Saturation of the market. The success of early periodicals led to a proliferation of similar publications, with many writers emulating Addison and Steele. Originality diminished and the market became crowded with imitative works. Changing literary tastes. The latter half of the 18th century saw a growing interest in the novel as a literary form. Readers were drawn to the depth of character and plot found in novels by authors like Samuel Richardson, Henry Fielding, and Lawrence Sterne. This shift in reader preference may have overshadowed the appeal for shorter, didactic essays. Social and political context. The Age of Transition was marked by significant social and political changes, including the American Revolution and the early stages of the Industrial Revolution. While these events provided rich material for commentary, the periodical essay's traditional format may have been ill-suited to address complex contemporary issues in depth. Resistance to stylistic innovation. Many essayists of the time admired and sought to replicate the success of Addison and Steele without venturing into new stylistic territory. This reverence for established models limited experimentation and the evolution of the genre. Legacy and conclusion. Despite the lack of significant development, the periodical essays of the Age of Transition played a role in sustaining the genre and keeping it accessible to readers. The works of Johnson, Goldsmith, and others provided moral guidance and reflections on human nature, continuing the tradition of engaging with the public on matters of societal importance. However, the period's failure to innovate meant that the periodical essay gradually lost its prominence. As the 19th century approached, other forms of literature, particularly the novel and romantic poetry movement, captured the public's imagination. In conclusion, the periodical essay during the Age of Transition remained a popular but static form. The number of publications attests to its continued appeal, yet the lack of significant innovation in manner or matter suggests that the genre had reached a plateau. The contributions of key figures like Samuel Johnson and Oliver Goldsmith reflect both the strengths and the limitations of the periodical essay at this time, a commitment to moral discourse and literary elegance, but a reluctance to adapt to the changing tastes and needs of a new era. So this was the discussion on the development of periodical essays in the Age of Transition. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.